All right, what is going on, everyone? I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to the channel here. We got some brand new baits from Bass Mafia. You might know the guy, Chris Zaldain, has done so much research, R&D on this bait here. If you keep up with him on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, he has posted some really cool videos on these baits here. Not just swim videos, but kind of the deep dive into how Bass Mafia really created the Daingerous loaded swim bait here with a unique hook harness. It's a single hook line through swim bait. We've got all 5 colors here. We've got albino, blackback shad, Texas gizzard, blueback herring, blackback shad, and chartreuse shad as well. We're gonna do a close-up of all these, so stay tuned. I'm gonna kind of talk about my initial impressions about each one of these baits here. I had one opened up somewhere, I'm not sure where it went, but let's go through here, talk about the baits. I'm really wondering where I put that one that I already opened up to show you. But you know, it's a really cool, unique swim bait. No, that's a mag draft. I got a mag draft up here to kind of show you some of the differences. Oh, there it is. Haha. I hid it from myself, guys. So this is probably going to be one of the very first videos on YouTube showing you the Daingerous swim bait up close, in person, kind of pointing out some things that are unique about it. You know, right off the bat, this bait here is going to retail for a very fair price. I'm just going to open up another one, so bear with me, guys. Overall, I think the bait itself looks really good. I got to see these in person at ICAST. Got to talk with the Bass Mafia crew kind of about how the designs came about. Obviously, Chris Zaldain being local to Texas here, I really hope he can come in the store and kind of talk to us about him at some point. He's a really cool guy. I'll probably see him here in a couple weeks at the... oh, maybe not, actually. He switched over to Nitro. He used to be in the Skeeter, Fun Sons, a Skeeter Phoenix dealer, so probably actually will not see him this year at the show, but it was always fun seeing him at the show over there down in Hurst. But here we go, unboxing the Bass Mafia Daingerous swim bait. First thing here, the clamshell is really nice. I really enjoy the clamshells just to keep your tail straight, keep the bait in order, looking good. Again, here we go, guys. Right off the bat, this is probably the first time this bait has seen YouTube right there. Overall impressions. So without the line through system, just kind of talking about the bait in general. I've got a mag draft here as comparison. A lot of swim bait people on the internet are going to be like, you know, this bait's just ripping off the mag draft. And I've studied this bait a little bit off camera. There are definitely some major differences in terms of swim, in terms of how you can work it, and obviously the unique line through system that this bait has. Now, originally, the original bait was a freestyle bait, kind of like the freestyle mag draft, where it was this Daingerous swim bait. But you would have to rig like a beast hook or something to really effectively fish that bait. Now this one here, it's loaded, it's got the hook in it. I've determined that this hook here is like a 5/0 hook. It's got a real big gap in it. It's got a real big eye as well, so you can tie a knot onto there. But the hook itself is very thick gauged. I would definitely recommend at least 17-pound line on this guy. The baits come in 2 different sizes, 5 different colors here. The 2 sizes, the shallow one starts at 1.6 ounces, and the deep one is going to be 1.9 ounces. So there is 0.3 difference between the 2 styles, the shallow and the deep. The 6 cents hangover just dropped as well, and there was 0.2 variance between the slow fall, the medium fall, and the fast fall. Now, onto the aesthetics of this bait here compared to something like the mag draft, which has been a staple. Zaldain threw the mag draft a ton when he was with Megabass, and now switched over to Bass Mafia and created this one here. Now, first off, they do look very similar. However, there are some noticeable key differences in the styles of the baits themselves. One of the biggest differences is going to be in tail design here. The Daingerous loaded swim bait and the regular Daingerous swim bait has a bigger angle, a more wider angle on the tail section here. The mag draft is closer to a 90-degree tail. The Daingerous swimmer is going to be opened up a little bit bigger. So at slower speeds when you're reeling this, especially with the slow fall one or the shallow size, at slower speeds, this tail is going to kick extremely easy. And one thing a lot of guys talk about when they're swim baiting a mag draft or a coal shad or something like that is the body roll. If you speed this up too much, that bait is going to roll out on you. It's going to blow out. It's going to kill the action, and those fish are going to get turned off of it. What Zaldain did with this bait here is very, very cool. He almost made this bait like a pyramid where the bottom of the bait is actually almost flat. So if you do want to crawl this bait, which I highly recommend you to try, obviously it's a top hook, right? So you're not going to get hooks stuck on the bottom, in the rocks, in the grass, or whatever like that. But you can very easily crawl this bait on the bottom like a Texas rig or a jig, and it's going to kind of just sled across because it does have that flat bottom. Now the bait itself going up towards the back is shaped like a pyramid, and that's going to help it plane through the water, stay straight, swim straight on, and still have just a little bit of that head wobble that will really accentuate and heighten the bait itself. Now, another really, really cool feature that I like about this compared to the mag draft is the mag draft does have these little stabilizing fins on the side of the bait. I guess kind of, I believe those are pectoral fins, kind of where those are there. The Loaded Daingerous Loaded Swimbait and just the regular swimbait itself have very defined stabilizing fins on each side, much thicker plastic. They're going to keep that bait nice and level instead of blowing out on you. Overall, profile-wise, the bait is going to be, I believe it's 6 inches. They're also going to come out with a 7-inch bait. So 6 inches, it's going to be just about the same length as the mag draft. It's going to be a little bit wider at the bottom than the mag draft. And overall, I mean, I have nothing but really good things to say about this bait. I do love the hook placement of where the hook is coming out in the bait here. It is a line through. It does come out around 2.8, 2.9 inches back from the head, which is a good centered area. It's not too far back. It's not too far forward. I think it's a great area for the hook itself. Again, a very nice, meaty 5/0 hook. This thing is going to get them. Once you get a hook in them, they're not coming off. I have experimented with some other hooks. We tried a jungle flipping hook from Owner. The spear point hook straight shank works great. The main advantage to using the stock hook out of the package is that it has a bigger eye to tie to, so you can get some bigger line in there, like your 20, 25 pound if you really want it. And what's really neat as well is that bigger eye actually stabilizes the hook from moving left to right inside the bait itself. So that's another feature that I do want to highlight. You can switch out the hook. Any straight shank 5/0 would do more than likely. But let's run over some colors here. So I'm going to switch the camera angle. We're going to take a close look at each of the different colors, guys. All right, everyone, sorry for this little glare here, but we're going to show off all your swim baits here. We've got 2 different sizes in 2 of the colors, and then we have the 1 size in the deep and all the other ones. But the first one up is going to be albino, classic white color, great for dirty water, great for clean water, really great in all water. We got this in the shallow version and the deep version. Again, 6 inches on all these here. They're going to have that red Bass Mafia eye. Super cool. Loaded Daingerous Swimbait here. There you go. There's the back side. There's the whole packaging again. A really, really good looking clamshell that's going to keep your bait intact. You know, what I like to do with clamshells like this, especially if this is too big of a footprint for you, you can actually cut out this top part here, cut around the bait, and just staple it around there, make it a little bit smaller. But that's albino. Next one up is blueback herring for you herring guys or people that like the megabass color that's very similar to this. Here you go. Check that out. I really enjoy this color. Great for a little bit clear water. Great for Texas water. You know, when you go into some of the dirtier water, it might work pretty good, but there's another one that will work a little bit better. So that's blueback herring. Next up is chartreuse shad. So this is for you dirty water guys. Here you go. It's going to have a little bit of a blueback chartreuse line going down into a pearly white, almost pearly glitter underbelly. Here we go. Look at that there. Only have this one in the deep. Just because it is a chartreuse color here, we decided that we only really needed the deep in this one, and we'll eventually bring some more in the shallow and the 7-inch, of course. So if you want some in a different fall rate or a different, you know, shallow or deep, let us know, and we can possibly get those in for you. Next up is going to be black back shad. Now, I think they kind of mislabeled this one. The back itself isn't even black at all. It's actually kind of like silver. They probably should have just called it silverback shad. But this one here, very similar again to like this herring color. It's going to have a very translucent body, a very iridescent blue side plate, and then kind of that shad back. It's not really black back, but you know, there you go. Another great clear water color. And then of course, very similar to the MB Gizzard, the Texas Gizzard here is going to have that pink line running down, kind of resembles a trout. It's got a more of a black back than the blackback shad, leading down into a green upper, pink line running down. Great for that Texas water, stands out really, really well. And then it's going to have a very translucent, clear underbelly there as well. So we actually have the blackback shad in shallow and deep, and then this one here only in deep. So if you do want some more variants in the sizes, colors, let us know in the comments. I hope you really enjoyed this video here. Let me get you a little bit of a close-up between the Mag Draft and the Loaded Daingerous Swimmer here. Sorry for that camera shake, but here is the big differences again. Zoom in for you. There we go. But I hope you enjoy it, guys. This is probably one of the first videos of an up-close comparison of something like a Mag Draft and the swimmer here. You saw that, right? Okay, there you go. So there it goes. What's really neat about this Loaded Daingerous Swimmer is all the weight is actually down in the bottom of the bait here. You can kind of see that lead line running down, and then you also have the hook harness running through the top part here. So overall, just a really, really cool looking bait. It is going to swim extremely well. Again, here's a little close-up of that pyramid design, the stabilizing fins, and your line tie is going to go right in the nose. And where it goes in the nose is actually pointed down like that, and then it goes to the hook. So it actually keeps your bait nice and level in the water column instead of rising up like that. It's going to keep it stabilized down with help from the fin here, as well as the line tie placement. It is also a little more flexible than the Mag Draft, a little bit softer actually in my opinion than the Mag Draft. That's just me, might just be the color, but initially right off the bat, a really sexy looking bait, guys. So I hope you enjoy it. These are going to be available very soon, if not already available online at lakeprotackle.com. Everyone, so definitely head over there, buy them up. We really appreciate it. Again, new customers can save 10% off their first order with us online with the code NEW10. Check it out down in the description. Check out all of our other cool stuff, Megabass rods, you know, Shimano reels, Daiwa reels, all the cool stuff. LakeProTackle.com, everyone. Loaded Daingerous Swim baits are in the house. Check them out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.